Hello. Hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're swell. Hope you wave. You're great. You're doing good. Great. Fantastic. Moisturize my lips. Like this, so give it to you. You know the Disney song, X gon' give it to you. X gon' give it to you. My cousin got me this wallet. It's got a skull. I don't know if you can see the skull. You can vaguely see it. Yeah. And I haven't used the wallet for some time. Like a year maybe, not touching it. And then one day, very childish, walking around, putting everything in my pockets, putting all my money and my cards in my pockets. I was like, I have a wallet, keep everything in one place, easy to locate, organized, and I haven't looked back. My hands are oily. It's hard to open it. Oh, there we go. Ah, my leg is getting tired. Standing over. Let me collect all these studs that I dropped on you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I wish there was one more to make it 30. A nice round number. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I believe there's another one. I need to just seal this. Okay. Someone else for a whole video of that. I can't give you a whole video, but you know, I think that was decent. Nintendo had I wrote a poetry book, by the way. I wrote a poetry book. And the link is in the description. It's $1, guys. It's $1. And it's 40 love poems. So if you want to check that out, I'd really appreciate anyone who supports that. You need 5 stars as well. I'd really appreciate it. I 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 really appreciate it. Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct. It's like Nintendo Direct is like a little video newsletter type thing where they just show you what's upcoming with regards to their titles with their games, what fans should be excited about. And it's pretty successful. People are very excited for what's coming. Nintendo's a very successful company. You know, the company started like 1890 something. People don't know that. Like, it's a very, very old company. It's been around for more than 100 years. They're approaching 150 years soon. Give it like a decade or two. I think they started out making cards. They were making cards. Card games in Japan, I believe. Yeah, Japan. They made Japanese playing cards. I'm not sure exactly what game it was, what card game it was, but that's where they started. And then eventually, I'm not sure when they started making video games. 80s, around that time. I think around the 80s, maybe. And yeah, they've been very, very successful and very consistent. Anyway, they announced this Legend of Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom. People are excited for that. And it's if you don't know Legend of Zelda, it's basically about this hero, Link. It's kind of like Super Mario in the sense that Link has to save the princess. So Link is this warrior in this kingdom, and the princess is always getting kidnapped, and he always has to save her. Pretty much, that's the story with all these games, right? He has to go save Princess Zelda. It's funny because the game is called Legend of Zelda, but it's about Link. So with this new game, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, they flipped it. Link is in trouble. What happened was he was going to save Zelda, as was the usual routine, and as he was saving her, he got sucked into this portal, basically. So she was saved, but not Link was gone. Link was missing. Someone said they should have called it Legend of Zelda, the Missing Link. That would have been cool, I guess. But anyway, so she's been rescued, but her boyfriend is gone. Are they boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't know if they actually love each other. I'm not sure. If he's just like one of her knights, warriors, who's just serving his... Is she a queen or a princess? I think she's a princess. I've always heard her referred to as Princess Zelda. I think. I'm not sure. Someone let me know in the comments. But yeah, now she has to save him. And I like what they did with the whole thing. Because, you know, Link is a warrior. He's a man, and he carries this sword and this shield, and he... Wait, I think the shield is on this side, sword is, yeah. And he fights the bad guys. He swings his sword and throws bombs, and he's masculine. He's that type of hero. It wouldn't have made sense for them to take the approach of, okay, this princess, you know, she's delicate, she's always getting kidnapped. All of a sudden, like, now she's wielding swords and cutting up monsters and all sorts of stuff. It wouldn't make sense. Because there was no setup for that, right? It's just not part of a job description. So what they did with her, because, you know, she still has to save Link now that he's gone missing. Or he's been taken. They gifted with this magical staff that has all these powers. It can basically duplicate random objects, and it can levitate objects and throw them at enemy. It can do a bunch of stuff, right? So she's got this magical staff that gifts her with all these abilities. But they call it Echoes of Wisdom because as you're playing the game, you're going to have to use the staff's magical powers to solve puzzles, and she has to use her brain to really navigate the environments she finds herself in and eventually save Link. And I really liked it because it shows that female characters can be heroes, but they don't necessarily have to mimic men and do the things that the men do and whatnot. That's not to say you can't have like badass female characters that do wield swords and whatnot. I think of like games like Bayonetta and Heavenly Sword, for example, where the characters are female and it's still a very much melee focused game, like hand-to-hand combat, close quarters, really getting physical and sturdy. Think about games like that, but those are fantasy titles. You can suspend disbelief. You understand that they're just having fun. It's not meant to be grounded because it is in a fantasy setting that doesn't observe like certain rules and whatnot. Whereas in the context of like a Legend of Zelda, it's fantasy, but it's still very much the princess knight trope, where the princess is typically delicate. She's meant to be protected. She wears dresses and heels and, you know, rides around in carriages and stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense for her to be out here like, wah, 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 wah. And historically, you know, when you think about queens and princesses, obviously these are just, if I were talking about real life, yeah, these are not women that are out here fighting. So it's nice to see them tackle the question of like, We want her to fight, but how do we do it in a way that's convincing and makes sense? The lazy approach would be just give her a sword and just make her the female version of Link. You know, you might give her some new powers here and there, but she's pretty much performing the exact same role. She's just all of a sudden gotten these abilities that she didn't have before. And it wouldn't make sense, because why was she getting kidnapped the whole time if she was this capable the whole time, you know? If she was so capable of defending herself, why was Link always having to rescue her? It wouldn't make sense if they took that approach. Or just make her strong all of a sudden. This approach was smart because it's like she has something that she didn't have before. The staff, and she can use her wits, she can use her brain in conjunction with the staff to be very effective and lethal against her enemies. There's this notion that the male gaming audience is sexist and whatnot. It's not true. What we are is tired of the nonsense, because a lot of these characters these days, it wasn't always the case, but these days they're insufferable and they're badly written, and they try so hard to masculinize them so it's not believable. It's not very believable, and they don't really have depth. A lot of these characters, the extent of their personalities, essentially I hate men. They might not say it explicitly, but they exhibit it in various ways, right? This character is anti-male, which is not something you should be marketing your character as, especially when you consider that the vast majority of the gaming audience is men. With this Legend of Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, it's got a female character. I guarantee you the vast majority of the people buying this game will be male. They'll be male, because that's the general demographic for games anyway. There'll be a very strong male audience for that game, and the character is female. Princess Peach, for example, from Super Mario. She had some successful games, sold well. Where was the sexism there? They supported her too. The men supported her too. It's really not about is the character male or female. It's about, is it a good character? Is the game fun? If you're out here lecturing your audience and telling your audience you hate them and oh you're toxic and we don't want you, well, don't be surprised when you don't sell well. You know? Don't be surprised when your sales tank. It's not a complicated concept. I don't know why these studios can't figure it out. It's very, very simple. Don't diss your audience. But yeah, it's very predictable that this game is going to sell very well and be received very well, because Nintendo is very consistent with these titles. They usually received very well by the public. The games they put out are usually quite well received by critics and the general audience at large. Critics these days are irrelevant. Critics are generally just so irrelevant these days because they're so wrong about everything. With the Acolyte, for example, Star Wars The Acolyte, if you look at the critic scores, they're all 80-90%. Then the audience goes like 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics are irrelevant, dude. They're shills. They're bought and paid for. They can't give you honest opinions. The market will tell you, man. The market will speak. If your shit is buns, if it's cheeks, People will let you know. They will let you know. It's encouraging to see a game like that, like Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, doing well. It should let like the ladies know, like if you're a female storyteller, that you can sell very, very well with a female character. You can. And people will get 100% get behind your female character if she's well written. You think about Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games. I remember in high school, I read that shit. I was like, this is amazing. The movies did extremely well. It's a well-written character. And she was still a woman. Like, there was no confusion about that. Then, like, her character never did anything that made you go like, that's not physically possible. Like, she can't do that. Like, women can't do that. There was never much of that, if any of it. She was just a good character that people could get behind, and it was interesting. Tomb Raider, from early on, early 2000s. When did the first Tomb Raider come out? Like in the late 90s? It was on PS1, so it might have been the late 90s, I'm not sure. Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, like another very successful female character. Gun-toting, adventure explorer, archaeologist, attractive, still feminine, sold very well. We can go down the list. There was a game on PS2, Beyond Good and Evil, had a female protagonist as well. There was like two protagonists, so one was a female, the other one was like a pig. Also did well. Resident Evil had female characters. Final Fantasy had female characters. Like there's this notion, that this lie that always gets told, these spaces lack diversity and we don't have female characters, we don't have this character, that. Like, it's not true. People have selective memory. It's like, these are huge characters that they're just ignoring in the history of entertainment. They just straight up ignore these massive characters who have massive fanfare and pretend as if there's no history there. And I don't know why they do it. Well, I mean, I know why they do it. They love playing the victim, and they'll ignore anything that's inconvenient to the victim narrative. But yeah, like, there's a wealth of interesting, beloved female characters. I remember there was a game called Dino Crisis on PS1. I believe the character in that game was female as well, if I'm not mistaken. I talked about Bayonetta. I talked about Heavenly Sword. Metroid. Nintendo also announced Metroid in this recent Nintendo Direct. They announced a new Metroid game, and the character from that game is female. It's just hilarious. This notion, we don't have female characters, we don't have female representation. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? There've been female characters for decades. Huge female characters. Huge. Massive fanfare. Sold millions and millions of copies. Made these companies so much money. Like, what are you talking about? Bro, these people are ridiculous, man. And it's also a cope because, you know, with these writers, for example, these creatives that make these more modern titles that don't sell well. Like let's say like with The Acolyte, which is a series, a Star Wars series. It's doing terribly. It's doing horribly. No one likes it. No one likes it. In the audience, at least. The critics seem to love it. The critics seem to think it's the bee's knees. But the audience is like, this is terrible. This is not Star Wars. The creators of that show are saying, oh, the fans are sexist, and it's the fans' fault for not liking our show. It's like, man, shut up. You made terrible art. You have to accept it. You have to embrace that reality. Your shit is trash. It's trash. It's rubbish. It's bin material. Like, you need to embrace that, because there are many examples of stories centered around females that are doing very well, that have done very well, that are doing very well. House of the Drag. I don't know that, you know, the Game of Thrones show. I'm pretty sure that there is a strong female cast, and I haven't watched it. I don't know, but I'm always seeing women on the cover, and people love that. I'm hearing good things about it. I might actually watch it. Like, what are you talking about? It's genuinely like frustrating, dude. Because it's lies. It's just lies. Like, y'all are just bad at your jobs. It's not the fans. It's you. Make good arts. This should be encouraging to any like female and creative, any lady that wants to like make art. You shouldn't think that if I write a female character, no one's gonna like her, or it's not gonna sell. It's not true. There's so many examples. Do your research. It's not even that hard to find. I've already listed a bunch for you, but you can keep going down the rabbit hole. But like I talked about Princess Peach, who started out as just a character in a Mario game. She's the princess that Mario has to save. But because Nintendo saw how interested the audience was in the character, they said, "What if you make a Princess Peach game?" And they've made various products, merchandise around Princess Peach. I believe she has a game as well. I'm pretty sure she does. I know there's games where she's playable as a character, like Mario Party and Super Smash Bros. And so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure she has her own game right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe she might have multiple games. And she sells well. Let me actually Google that. Hold on. Turning on my laptop. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so there's Princess Peach Showtime. I don't know what that is. Super Princess Peach. Let me find out. I want to find out like dedicated, because they're showing some games she's featured in. But I want to like find out like what games. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I just saw some random. Hello. Show me the games she's in. Damn. So there's Princess Peach Showtime, it seems, and Super Princess Peach. Those seem to be the two games they've made for her. What games can you play as? And then she's featured in a whole bunch of other games. But like she has two dedicated games, Super Princess Peach and Princess Peach Showtime. Yeah, those are the only two I can see that are popping up. So it seems like that is the answer to the question. And yeah, she sold well. Princess Peach, Super Princess Peach sales. Super Princess Peach sold 1.7 million copies worldwide. That's a lot, guys. It's very impressive. Okay, so Princess Peach Showtime. Let me see how much that sold. So this article was published 7 May 2024. Wait. How much? It says 1.2 million sales since its release in March. Wait, what? Man, this is talking about cookies. Damn, I'm so tired of this cookie nonsense, bro. It sold more than Mario versus Donkey Kong. Think about that. So you've got Mario and Donkey Kong, two major characters in the Nintendo. Was Donkey Kong not? Wait. Wow. Think about this. The original Donkey Kong was Nintendo's first major title. And I think that's where we first met Super Mario. Wow. His first appearance was in Donkey Kong in 1981, where he was called Jumpman. So think about that. So Donkey Kong, Nintendo's first major title, where Super Mario is introduced and Super Mario becomes this breakout hit. Those guys have a game together called Mario versus Donkey Kong, which came out the 16th of February 2024. It sold 1.12 million. Princess Peach has been out for less time than Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but it sold 1.2 million. So this narrative, this fib, this lie from hell, that like men just hate female characters, the male audience is just sex. It's like, it's not true. Explain these ridiculous numbers. I guarantee you that 1.2 million is not all women. If you know the gaming audience, yes, there are many women that play games, but compared to the male audiences, yeah, there's a lot more men. I guarantee you, a lot of that 1.2 million are male, if not the majority. I'd be interested to see the demographics of these titles. I'd be very interested to see that. But yeah, people need to stop the cap. Female characters sell very well if they're well written, if they're well designed, and they're likable. They're not assholes, they're not annoying, they're not insufferable. So again, that should be encouraging. That shouldn't piss off female creators. That should be very encouraging, because it means if you have a project, you can do very well. You can be a bestseller. Again, look at Hunger Games. Look at stories like Divergent. All these characters, these stories are female leads, and they were bestsellers internationally. Princess Peach is out here outselling like Mario and Donkey Kong together in a game. Come on now. You need to relax. Just make good games. It's so simple. It's literally just make the game fun, make the character fun, and people will respond accordingly. I was googling when I was googling Princess Peach games. You know, like Google, you'll see like one of the most searched questions. One of the questions was, "Is Princess Peach LGBTQ?" I'm like, that's irrelevant. And the issue with a lot of these writers is they focus on that aspect and they make that the character's whole personality, and that's how you lose the audience. That's how you lose them. So these characters that typically flop these days, like they did a Tomb Raider reboot, that wasn't super woke. So I won't necessarily. I think the issue with that game was it was just a bad game. Well, it wasn't as interesting as the original Tomb Raider. They kind of departed away from what made Tomb Raider interesting. They're making more like Uncharted, which isn't what Tomb Raider really was at its core. It was very different from Uncharted. It came before Uncharted, and Uncharted borrowed aspects of the Tomb Raider franchise, but Uncharted was still its own thing. Tomb Raider was its own thing. But now the reboot of Tomb Raider was trying to be like more like Uncharted. She was supposed to be like this female Nathan Drake, and it didn't work. People were not nearly as enthusiastic about it as they were about the previous Tomb Raider games. But with other games, you know, they'll focus on like this aspect like, I'm a woman. And it's like, so? What's that supposed to do for us as your audience? Like, are you interesting? Are you fun to play with? Are you like cool? Are you believable? So yeah, know your audience, know what they like. Just make the characters fun, and just make the stories fun and interesting, and you'll be rewarded. As we've seen many times in the past, you will be rewarded. Very simple, guys. Now we've got the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom game. I predict that will sell very well. I think a lot of people are very excited. There's a lot of anticipation for that. So all indications point towards it being a smash hit. Just another title in a long list of titles led by female protagonists doing financially well. It shouldn't be surprising. Like, this is new. This has been going on for decades. This has been going on for literally decades. So like, people should stop acting shocked. Like it's some anomaly. Anyway, let me show you. I got donuts yesterday, so I'll just show those off and then I'll put out there. I like showing off the Krispy Kreme donuts because they're pretty. I regret buying this. I didn't know what flavor is this. This is cookies and cream gourmet edition or something like that. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be something else that I had, which I really enjoyed. Then I got this. I was like, what the hell is this? I've had this before. I didn't like it that much. This is my favorite one. This is New York cheesecake. I really like this one. This one was the milk tart flavor. Do y'all have milk tart? Where you're from? I think that's a South African thing. I'm not sure. I can actually Google that. Is milk tart a South African dish? Where does milk tart? The Dutch Cape Colony. South Africa? Yeah, I think it's a South African dish. So milk tart, we'll call it milk tart, which is what they call it in Afrikaans, milk tart, melk tart, milk tart. So that was the milk tart flavor. I wasn't a fan of it, to be honest. This donut, it had the vague milk tart taste, but maybe I just wasn't hungry. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood. But I would not get it again. These donuts are very rich, very sugary. You can't eat 3 of these at once. I can't. It's too much. You have to eat them one at a time. I might have to like cut this in half and eat half and then eat the other half later, and then yeah, this one, I wish I got another flavor, dude. I'm not a fan of this flavor. I'll try and enjoy it. I'll like starve myself and make myself hungry so that I can enjoy it, because when you're really hungry, certain things go down more than they would have if you weren't that hungry. I was about to bite the box. This box might not be that clean. Don't put it in your mouth, just pause. But yeah. So cookies and cream gourmet edition, and then New York cheesecake. Thank you for watching. Let me pray and get out of there. I like to pray at the end of my videos. Dear God, thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole, unique, and God unlimited path to us, peace, prosperity, and purpose, peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. And thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love, with marriage, and sustaining that love and marriage, and making it very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that your God, that you real, that you love me, always going to be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person and everyone they care about. In my name I pray, in Jesus' name I pray, amen, 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 amen.